If your hair feels thinner every single year and you think that's just what happens after 60, I need you to stop scrolling right now because what I'm about to tell you might make you a little angry. Not at me. At every hairstylist who never told you this. There are 5 things you're probably doing to your fine hair this morning, right now, today, that are quietly making it look thinner than it actually is. Not because your hair is dying. Not because you did anything wrong. But because nobody ever explained the difference between hair that's thin and hair that's just been styled wrong for 40 years. And the fifth one? The fifth one is the mistake almost every woman over 60 makes, and it's probably sitting in your bathroom cabinet right now, disguised as a good habit. Stay with me because by the end of this video you're going to look at your hair routine completely differently. Hi everyone, welcome back to Timeless Glow, the channel where we prove week after week that looking radiant after 60 doesn't require a big budget or a salon chair every month. And if you're new here, hello and welcome. I'm so glad you found us. This is a place built just for you. No fluff, no filler. Just real practical tips that actually work on real hair in real life. Today we're talking about fine hair. And I promise you, this is not going to be another generic video telling you to just add volume. We're going deeper than that. Before we get into it, if you're the kind of woman who believes looking good after 60 should be simple, affordable, and a little fun, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps this channel keep growing. And it means more free tips like this landing in your feed every week. Alright, let's get into it. Secret number 1. You're brushing your hair like it's still 30. Here's something nobody tells you. The way you brushed your hair at 30 is actively working against you at 60. Back then, your hair had more natural oil production, more elasticity, more shear density per square inch of your scalp. So brushing from root to tip, dragging that brush all the way down in one motion didn't matter much. Your hair could take it. It just redistributed a little oil and you were done in 30 seconds. But fine aging hair doesn't work that way anymore, and honestly most of us never got the memo. When you brush from the root straight down, especially with a firm bristle brush, you're pulling on hair that's more fragile right at the follicle, the exact spot where it's most vulnerable. You're creating tension precisely where you can least afford it. And here's the part that really gets me. This isn't a one-time thing. It's not one bad brush stroke that does the damage. It's the accumulation. Every single morning, every single tug for months, for years, quietly adding up. Over time, that tension, combined with the natural thinning that happens with age anyway, makes your part line look wider than it used to. It makes your crown look flatter. It makes your ends look wispy and see-through in photos, the kind of thing that makes you avoid certain lighting or certain angles without even realizing why. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple, and that's what makes it so satisfying. Start brushing from the ends first. Hold the hair gently about halfway up the length, and work out the tangles down at the bottom before you go any further. Once the ends are smooth, move up in sections inch by inch and only brush through the roots last and gently, almost like you're finishing rather than starting. This one change alone reduces breakage dramatically, and breakage is one of the sneakiest reasons fine hair looks like it's not growing or staying thin when really, it's just snapping off before it ever gets the chance to grow past a certain length. Your hair isn't refusing to grow. It's being cut short by your own brush before it gets the chance. Try it tomorrow morning. Same brush, same hair, just reversed order. You will feel the difference in how much less hair ends up in the bristles. Secret number 2. Your shampoo routine is weighing you down, literally. This one surprises almost everyone I talk to, and I mean almost everyone. Most women with fine hair assume the problem is the shampoo itself. So what do? We chase expensive volumizing formulas, we read every label, we spend money we didn't necessarily want to spend, hoping the right bottle will fix everything. But often the real problem isn't the product at all. It's the process. It's what your hands are doing while that product is sitting on your head. If you're piling shampoo on top of your head and scrubbing in circles right at the crown, the way most of us were taught to do since childhood, you're actually pressing your hair flat against your scalp while it's wet. And here's the key thing to understand. Wet hair takes the shape it's dried in. It's almost like wet clay. Whatever position it's in when it starts drying is the position it wants to hold on to. So every single time you scrub flat, you are training your hair wash after wash, week after week, year after year, to lay flatter and flatter against your head. Instead, try this. Apply shampoo directly at the scalp, then massage it in with your fingertips lifting upward and outward, almost like you're trying to tint your hair off your head, rather than press it down into it. Let gravity and the water do the rinsing work, not your hands pushing everything flat against your scalp. It sounds like such a small adjustment. It is small. But small habits repeated 3 times a week for years and years are exactly what shape how your hair naturally falls and sits on your head. And here's the part almost nobody mentions, the part one really wants you to hear. Conditioner should almost never touch your roots at all after 60. Fine hair does not need conditioning at the scalp. It needs conditioning from mid-length down to the ends only, where the hair is oldest, driest, and most in need of that moisture. Conditioning the roots is one of the fastest, easiest ways to flatten fine hair before you've even stepped out of the shower, let alone picked up a blow dryer. You could have the best styling routine in the world and undo half of it right there in those 2 minutes under the water. Now, if this is already making you rethink your entire hair routine, that's exactly the reaction I was hoping for. Drop a comment and let me know which one surprised you the most, the brushing tip or the shampoo tip, because I read every single comment and I genuinely love hearing from you. It makes my day, honestly. And if you haven't already, tap that like button. It tells YouTube to show this video to more women just like you who need to hear this today. Women who are probably standing in their bathroom right now wondering why their hair just isn't cooperating the way it used to. Okay, let's keep going because secret number 3 is the one that changes everything about how your hair looks in photos, and it takes less than 5 minutes. Secret number 3. You're drying your hair in the wrong direction. Most women dry their hair pointing the blow dryer straight down at their scalp, simply because it feels natural. It's how we've always done it, it's how our mothers did it, it's just muscle memory at this point. But direction matters more than heat setting, more than the product you use, more than almost anything else in your entire styling routine, and barely anyone talks about it. When you point the airflow down toward your scalp, you're smoothing the hair cuticle flat against your head, laying every strand down in the same direction. That's fantastic if your goal is sleek, smooth hair. But it is absolutely working against you if your goal is fullness and volume, which for most of us over 60 it is. For real lasting fullness, you want to dry your roots while flipping your head slightly to one side or forward, letting the airflow hit from underneath and from the side, lifting the roots up and away from the scalp rather than pressing them flat down onto it. You're essentially working with gravity instead of against it, giving your roots room to breathe and stand up, rather than collapsing under their own weight the moment they dry. Even 5 minutes of root drying done this way before you touch a single styling product, before the mousse, before the spray, creates more lasting volume than half a can of product applied the traditional way. It's the difference between building a foundation and just piling decoration on top of a flat surface. Once your roots are trained to lift, everything else you add on top works so much better and lasts so much longer through the day. Secret number 4. Your part line has become your enemy without you realizing it. If you've worn your hair parted the exact same way for the last 20, 30, maybe even 40 years, and for so many of us that's simply true, your scalp has essentially memorized that pattern. It's not just habit anymore, it's physical. Hair naturally thins slightly along a part line over time, simply from repeated tension in that one exact spot, day after day, plus years of sun exposure hitting that same narrow strip of scalp while everything around it stayed covered and protected. So here's the twist that catches almost everyone off guard. The very part you've always used, the one that feels the most natural, the most you, is often the exact part making your hair look thinnest. Not because your hair overall is thinning faster there, but because that one line has taken the brunt of decades of exposure and tension that the rest of your scalp never had to deal with. The fix costs absolutely nothing. Literally $0, no products, no appointments. Move your part just slightly, half an inch to an inch over from where you've always had it, or better yet, try a soft zigzag part instead of one razor straight line. A zigzag part distributes the visual weight differently and hides thinning far better than a straight line ever could, because it breaks up that single vulnerable strip into a pattern the eye simply reads as fuller. This single change can make your hair appear noticeably fuller almost instantly, in a single afternoon, because you're covering that thin strip with hair that hasn't been under that same tension and sun exposure for decades. Stand in front of the mirror after you switch it and really look. Most women are shocked at how much fuller their crown looks with nothing more than a shifted part. Secret number 5. The habit disguised as self-care that's secretly hurting you. And here we are, the one I promised you right at the start. This is the mistake almost every woman over 60 makes. And here's what makes it so sneaky. It's not lack of effort. It's actually the opposite. It's overcaring, just in the wrong direction. Sleeping with your hair down loose, free-flowing. Rubbing against a regular cotton pillowcase all night, every single night. Feels natural. Feels comfortable. Honestly, it feels like the gentle option, the caring option, letting your hair just rest. But cotton is a rough, absorbent fabric. It actually pulls moisture straight out of your hair strands overnight, and it creates constant friction against the hair cuticle for 6, 7, 8 hours while you sleep, which happens to be exactly when fine, aging hair is at its most fragile and least able to defend itself. Think about it this way. You wouldn't rub a delicate piece of fabric against sandpaper all night and expect it to look pristine in the morning. That's essentially what's happening to your hair. Just slowly and visibly night after night. The switch is genuinely simple. A silk or satin pillowcase, which you can often find very affordably, or even just a loose silk scrunchie to gather your hair into a soft, low pineapple style before bed, dramatically reduces that overnight friction. Women who make this one change, and I hear this constantly in the comments, often notice less breakage on their pillow in the morning and more shine within just a couple of weeks, with absolutely no new product required, no routine overhaul, just a fabric switch while you sleep. So there you have it, 5 small shifts. Brushing direction. Where you shampoo and where you condition. Which way you dry your roots. Where you part your hair. And how you protect it while you sleep. None of them require a salon visit. None of them require an expensive product. They just require doing what you're already doing every single day slightly differently. If this video helped you see your hair routine in a new light, I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. It truly helps this channel reach more women just like you. And let me know in the comments which secret you're trying first tonight. I read every single one. See you in the next video.